Carthage must be destroyed. I would like to announce my intentions to do a Lion Rampant walkthrough. And I have here in front of me the second edition of Lion Rampant. Lion Rampant is a game that's been around for quite some time. It's a popular game for people who like to do medieval skirmishes. And I thought, you know, I've done a Hail Caesar sort of walkthrough. I've done a Clash of Spears sort of walkthrough. Let's use what I can to do a Lion Rampant walkthrough. Now, as you guys have been, for those who have been watching my channel, you know I've been painting up some Agincourt era knights from Perry, and I'm now getting into some of the footmen as well. So I figured, since I've been putting that all together and I do want to play some solo scenarios and film it here on my own YouTube channel, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do a Lion Rampant walkthrough as well. I initially wasn't going to do a full-on walkthrough because I felt that with my older YouTube videos, they get quite lengthy and they take a long time to do. There's often a lot of, I would say, reposting, refilming, a lot of extra work and extra time that goes into it. But I've also found that a lot of people private message me or even just leave me a comment and they tell me, hey, I really appreciate what you did. So, you know, even if I can help a few people, maybe clarify some rules or see something visually worked out, I think that's a win. I also know that some people don't like watching these long videos, so if you don't like them, I guess, you know, they're not for you, but that's fine. Hopefully later on, after I get through the walkthrough, when we start doing solo campaigns and some battle reports in that regard, then we can, you know, at least in some way you can see some fun and some just how the game works out through Lion Rampant here. So, Lion Rampant came out with the second edition last year in 2022. They put a nice new hardcover on it. As I was saying before, it was a blue book and a very popular blue book. Daniel Mercy here has released a number of different books using similar rules, but they cover different eras or different genres. Like you've got Dragon Rampant, and there's also The Men Who Would Be Kings, Pikeman's Lament, a whole bunch of different books. If you followed the Osprey Publishing, you know the different rule books that have come out by Daniel Mercy. And Lion Rampant, I think, was just so good and so popular that, of course, they wanted to make an updated second edition. So if you've played the blue book before and you don't have the second hard edition book, you need not worry, because the second edition, from my understanding, is a lot like the first edition. And I'm going to start opening here. I'm not going to go into full detail with models or anything today. I'm going to start, how I'm going to present this is like I did in Hail Caesar and Clash of Spears. I'm going to look at a number of different sections of the book. Like, I'm not going to do the entire battle rules in one video. What I'm going to do is probably say, okay, what can I manage right now? And then just discuss it and walk through it, okay? I'm going to do kind of an introduction, a summarized version of what I gather from the book. And then if you want to see the whole introduction, of course, you'll have to get the book yourself. But in any case, Lion Rampant in the past is essentially the same rules as it has become in the second edition. There's no like major gameplay changes. If you're like, the book says, if you're a veteran of the old version of Lion Rampant, you need not worry because the rules are essentially the same. What has happened here is that there's been some additions to the rules. There's been some extras added, like, so yeah, the book becomes a lot more, I'm just flipping through here as I edit the video, but the book has become a lot more, I would say, era friendly to certain eras that maybe the medieval era didn't really cover before, if that makes sense. Like I was saying, now if you want to do like War of the Roses, you can include the handguns in there before, or, you know, there's instances where they started bringing in pikes and the like. So you can include that now without taking other rules from other sources that were released, or, you know, rules from Pikeman's Lament or something like that. It's all in the book now if you want to use it as an option. Another thing, since we're talking about what has changed here, another thing that's changed in the book is that I just love this picture here. It's a good, it's kind of like the main, I think this is the old cover of the old Lion Rampant, right? With the red knight and the white Lion Rampant there. But one thing too that's changed is that now they have less restrictions. Actually, they don't have any restrictions anymore on units. Before, you could only take something like, say you had a bunch of heavy men-at-arms, some heavy knights, and they have units of 6. They're kind of like your elite footmen. You can only take, I think, a max of 2 of those units, and that's how I always built my retinues. Now you can actually put it whatever you want on the field. Like if you want to do a full-fledged force, 24 points of pure heavy elite knights, now you can do that, and he's taken out that restriction. And he's also renamed a lot of the terms as well. There's no more terms like yeomen or sergeants. He's made them very generic, and you'll see that later on when we get to troop types. Because, you know, obviously way back in the Dark Ages, they don't have, like, you know, often when you read history, you're not really reading about yeomen back in 570, whatever, right? Or there's no yeomen in ancient China for whatever reason you're doing a Chinese battle, right? So he's taken terms that are very specific and made them more generic. So yeah, this rule book is more like it's the same game, but you're going to see here that there are some better changes, I think. He's included more options if you want to include it, while not destroying or changing or updating the old game entirely. So I'm going to stop this video here, because as you go through here, I'm going to, you know, show a whole bunch more. But with Lion Rampant here, the 2nd edition, I will be trying to use a mix of my knights I've been painting from Agincourt, as well as hopefully I can get some of these, you know, I don't have any ranged units again. The same thing happened in Hail Caesar, where I didn't have any some bowmen or anything. I don't have any crossbowmen or bowmen. So we'll see how long it takes me. It does take a considerable amount of time to do walkthrough videos and introduction videos, just because of you know, time and space and planning. And of course I always try to reread as much as I can before I just jump into doing a walkthrough. It's better to, you know, cover all your bases and know what you're talking about, obviously, before you release a walkthrough video. So thank you guys all for watching. If you support this idea of doing these walkthroughs, let me know. If there's any other games you'd love to see a walkthrough too, you know, a game out there that you want to see, just let me know in the comment section below. You can like and subscribe in this channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.